You know, I wanted to ask you something. You ever thought about what your needle in would say?
I'm going to die!
In Silksong, when you play it near certain bugs, words would appear. Sometimes they're tragic, sometimes they're hopeful, sometimes they're just heavy. They don't explain themselves really. They can't. They just exist. And in that silence, they just hit so much harder. And it got me thinking, like, one day, all of us are going to need to have our needle in played too. Or maybe not at all.
Well, at least you can plan accordingly.
Dying sucks butt. How do you living beings cope with mortality?
Violent outbursts.
General sluttiness.
Thanks to denial, I'm immortal.
So for those of you that have never touched the game, the needle in is this haunting little instrument that you can play in Hollow Knight Silksong. Sometimes it puts hidden words out into the world, or they're just fragments of a life that's passed. It'll show anything from like devotion, despair, longing, or something that sounds like it was ripped straight out of someone's final breath, which it was really. Well, for some of them, it's really kind of hard to explain. If you just happen to stumble across this video and you were just like curious about it, I definitely recommend playing Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. They don't have to necessarily be in order, but it doesn't hurt to. And for those of you that have already played Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong, or if you're just playing through Hollow Knight Silksong right now, you already know the chill that runs through your body when the needle in message appears. You don't forget it. You carry it with you as you move through Farloom. Because it makes you wonder, who left this behind? And why does it feel like it's speaking to me? Now, I of course can't say that I've played every single game out there in existence or just found any other games that remotely do something like this. I know that they exist, I'm sure that they exist, but something about this just hits so different with the environmental storytelling that's going on with it. It's an experience. And if you're very give a shitty like me, it'll fuck with you. It'll be like, damn. Which is crazy because I know objectively this was made by 3 motherfuckers programming a game. That's really all it is to it. They had some ideas, they put ideas to paper, they put paper to computer, they put computer to, you know, so on and so forth. But it's so real. It's done so well. It's so real. It really messes with you. And when you have an issue with time and you're thinking about the end game, I think you know what I'm getting at. And that's where your dilemma comes in. It's not really about how long you live, because eventually everybody has to go. Everybody has to expire. It's about how fully you live. Every choice you make adds to the sentence your needle in will display, or at least that's the way I like to think of it. Some people's words will read like regret, others may read devotion, some will feel unfinished, cut short before they even had a chance to say what even happened. Or they'll be questioning like, why? Was it worth it? What was all of this for? But that's the truth of life, right? You don't always get to choose the length of your story. You only get to choose the weight of it. I don't know. Like, maybe I think too much for my own good, but going back through and going through all the needle in messages from all the different enemies, it gives you such it's an experience. Like I said, it's an experience. It's wild. And it reminds me of the dream nail that you would get in the original Hollow Knight. And then you just go through and you just see like the hopes and dreams and aspirations, fears, anger, rage, sadness, despair, all of that. Sometimes multiples all in one. It's so wild. One of the things that I absolutely just love about these games is they're very humanistic. I think that's the mark of what makes a game really good. Now, of course, you need good gameplay. I mean, you don't want it to play like dog shit. I mean, you can kind of get away with that, but you don't want it to play like dog shit. But the thing that really elevates Hollow Knight for a lot of people outside of the gameplay, I mean, you got your motherfuckers that are like, get good! Like, they love that shit. They get off to it. They get off to needing to professionally take breaks, or they'll lose their mind and sanity because they're getting pissed off about some bullshit enemy, which I share that sentiment with you. I too get angry. I too get very close to destroying my Switch, but I'm very cheap, so that doesn't happen. But anyways, just going through those experiences and seeing some of those needle in messages, or God, they just mess with you. Like, I was so close. Why does my body have to give out now? Or it's so dark. Or why do we have to suffer? Like, God, it just, even as I say it, it sends shivers through my body just a bit. But I'm also a very give a shitty kind of person. You may not give a damn at all. You'd be like, dumbass bug. And the way that they speak too, if you think about it, or if you're the type of person to have a brain like me, you're probably thinking about actual insects and how they process thought. Or if they don't have thought at all, maybe it's just like impulses and instinct, which more than likely that's probably the case, but you never know. We don't know everything about them, so they could very well just be thinking and we're just not able to quantify it or come to understanding with it. For a while, we thought gorillas were just like dumb as shit and monkeys were dumb as shit till we realized how closely related we are. We thought dolphins were stupid, I'm sure, but we found out dolphins are pretty smart.
Tonight.
Same as octopus. And even then, we don't know what we know until we know it. And there are probably more things about them that we don't know as far as like their thinking and their intelligence. How horrifying would it be to think of the fact that insects could have like lingering regret? That would be crazy. I don't think they're necessarily capable of that, but like I said, we don't know everything. It reminds me of that Men in Black quote.
But why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
But regardless, this is a question that I want to leave you with. If a needle end was played for you today, right now, what do you think it would say? Would it speak to a life that was half-lived or one filled with risk, love, meaning, or even in the face of pain? I feel like even right now, as you listen to this, as you speak, as you read, as you talk to people, as you eat, as you do X, Y, and Z and try to fulfill whatever goals or aspirations that you either have or don't have. Even right now, I feel like those words are being written for you. They must be being written for you. Or are you writing them? You know, here's a fun exercise that I think you should do. If you get to the end of this video, I want you to tell me right here, right now, based off your life and how long you've lived, what do you feel like the words would say for you? If somebody was playing one for you right now, what would be like 4 words that it would say? Let me know in the comment section. I think that would be a pretty banger thought experiment. Because at the end of the day, you really just don't know, do you? Damn, what would mine say? Damn, what would yours say? Something to think about. Anyways, that's pretty much it. See ya.